Good afternoon, everyone. Today I'm welcoming Adrian Bol. I'm Jay Manari, Festival Director of MiraBan UK Film Awards. Today we're talking about Legacy of Lies by Adrian Bol. Thank you, Adrian, for being with us.
Thank you for inviting me here.
So first of all, Legacy of Lies is a movie about an ex-CIA agent, Martin, whose daughter is being kidnapped by the Russian agents. So he's forced to team up with Sasha, a mysterious journalist who is helping him out to rescue his daughter. Adrian has a background in fine arts, which makes him particularly interesting about the visual style he chose for Legacy of Lies. And so my first question about him, being this his third feature film and being him now an established director, how did your career shift from your interest in fine arts to directing, and how this, in a way, stays in your own style as a filmmaker?
When I was studying at the Art Academy, I studied at the Rietveld Academy in Amsterdam, I was mainly painting, because painting was my biggest passion, and it still is, so I'm still painting quite a lot. At one point, a friend of mine started a production company, and he was looking for creative talent, and he thought, I would be able to work on video and film as well. And I started doing that, and I really liked it. And it's basically, in a way, it's the opposite of painting, because painting, of course, it's very solitary, it's you and the canvas, you and the paint, and no one else. And of course, making a film, shooting, directing a film, it's very chaotic, and there's a lot of people involved. There's a whole business involved because, the whole budget and everything. So I was really attracted to that, actually, to create in cooperation with others, rather than just being only focused on painting. And now I do it both. So when I don't want, to have any people around, I focus on painting, and of course I'm directing films.
We share the same passions. I paint as well. So that when I read about your background, I was like, wow. And the curiosity was about the visual side, because I searched some of your paintings as well, and it looks, it reminded me of the style of Pollock, but also a little bit of Miro. It's an abstract kind of style. And I was reading about how you like to portray characters, their psychology, and also the way you said you were interested in characters that apparently they are static, but then they have such an emotional charge that makes them energetic. So looking at your painting, I felt there must have been some connection, at least in the visual style that you use.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's kind of, for me, painting is just pure intuitively. It's just, I don't want to, have an idea or a concept and then I'm going to, paint that. So I'm not going to do a landscape or a portrait, or I just love this abstract way of looking at things. And it's just looking and feeling. That is basically what I do when I try to completely disconnect from the thinking process, let's say, when I'm painting. And this is also how I create my characters, because they have their own lives. It's not that I create them, that I conceptually think how they should be. It's, I follow them around, let's say, in where they want to go. It's a very intuitive process, but then creating the story is very conceptual. So I think that's the thing with writing, is that you have to think conceptual, intuitive, conceptual, intuitive. And definitely being a painter makes me very, very easy, it trained me to go into this intuitive side and not be afraid just to follow the characters and to see where things are going, and to really get to know them at a deeper level. Visually, well, and what it really does, what the training of painting for me really does, is that I'm so trained, let's say, or used to do something and then look at it and then experience how it makes me feel, and then do the next step. This is what I very much do when I'm directing a scene. So, because there's this whole, craziness of a film set, especially Legacy was a pretty big film, and so you have this, sometimes we're like 100, 150 people around, everyone, and time pressure and this and that, and but you're trying to create the scene, and so you're on this monitor and you see the actors and everything's happening. So you have to be able just to look and feel. So, because in the end, it's about, does it emotionally work or not, what the actors are doing, what visually, the light is doing, how the camera moves, and it's not math, it's a matter of intuition. And I think this is what I really learned from painting, is that look and feel, and if it doesn't feel right, then try to find, what can I do to make it, to make it work. And this is a great process. I mean, this is why we do it, why we go through all the hassle and horrible hardships for these moments to create, actually.
Do you feel since you said that painting is what, it's you do in a lonely space, in a way you are by yourself, do you feel, was it uncomfortable at the beginning to shift from, being your own leader and just relying on yourself and the canvas, and that in the first experience as a director, collaborating with others, did you find it challenging at the beginning, and then you went with the flow and it became natural?
You mean to work with other people, like if that would be natural?
Being a painter, used to work by himself and then shifting towards the collaboration.
Yes, but what I think, at least the way I paint, is that I'm not in control of the painting. It's a conversation with the canvas. So I do something, and actually the canvas tells me what to do next. Because whatever I do, it starts and it works or doesn't work, and then, it
has a life of its own, in a way, right?
Yeah, and sometimes you make a mistake, and then you think, oh wow, this is actually cool, and then you go into a different direction. So you're constantly, in a communication with the canvas, basically. And directing a film is you're in communication with the DP, with the production designer, with the actors. You have a global idea, you have an idea where you want to go and what you need, but then you're going to create it, that's the moment when it all has to come together. And you can think of it as much as you want, but it has to work in that moment. Yeah. Right. And this is just a matter, you feel it or not. You feel, yes, we have it. Or, let's try another take, let's try it from this angle or this approach, or maybe you can try this. And I like if actors come with suggestions as well, because, it's not just my mind and my ideas. I like to, to have this conversation, like with a painting, like with an actor, because they can give me ideas that I didn't think of, and they can show me things that I didn't think of. And then, we can build on that and together, come to something that is really working. That's how I really like to work.
One question is about the genre. It seems to be your favorite in a way, something that deals with thriller, sometimes psychological thriller, and also this is something that you did in the past with other feature films. How did it work? Why is this the interest, the suspense, in a way, the fast pace that fascinates you?
Honestly, I don't know. Whenever I start writing, a thriller comes out. It's just my natural. It's not that I'm specifically looking for, I'm looking for ideas for thrillers or, but it's just something I like. And I'm now attached to a film that is more of a drama. This is also great. But when I write myself, it's always goes to the direction of a thriller. I just like it.
I see. And what about being this a movie about espionage in a way? Did you do a lot of research? How did it work for the theme you chose, the plot?
I did a lot of research. Actually, the whole idea for the film started out from something completely different, and then I found something. I found out something about something in recent Russian history that was kind of that really attracted me. I was like, wow, did that happen really? I started writing about that, and then it turned out I'd better not write about that, so I changed it. But it was a whole process of getting into this modern Russian position in the world, connected to Ukraine, connecting to the UK, connected to the US. And I just love spy thrillers, and I know Kiev very well. So Kiev is, let's say, the modern Berlin. You know what Berlin used to be on the edge of the East and the West? It's now Kiev. And it just has this mysterious kind of atmosphere with this brutalism, buildings, this postmodern architecture that's just beautiful. And yeah, I just like the mystery of this place and the underground kind of grittiness of it. So that inspired me to write this story.
I see. What about the relationship between the two characters, the main characters, the father and the daughter, Martin and Lita? What was your idea of their relationship? Because from the movie we understand there is a sense of guilt from the fathers in the way the mother of Lita died. So how did you portray it in your mind, and how much you think you accomplished in the result that came out of the acting?
Well, I always try to have a very clear theme when I'm writing. So, and then I try to have this theme in different layers in the film and within different relationships between characters, because that way you can go, let's say, a little bit wide, but it still becomes one thing. And the theme in this film is truth versus lies. It's truth versus power. And obviously that is the big theme, between the fight between journalism and truth versus the secret agencies. Mm-hmm. And it's also in the relationship between the father and the daughter, because there is a secret in the past that he didn't tell her about how her mother died and how he was involved in that. And he doesn't dare to tell her, he doesn't want to tell her because he's afraid, she will just hate him if he tells her the truth. So he keeps that as a secret. It's not really a lie, but there's no real truth between them. Mm-hmm. And this was the core of their relationship. This is the thing I wanted to explore between the two of them. And then I also wanted to make it, let's say, not the typical kind of father-daughter relationship in which, he's telling her what to do and she's a child and she wants to play. She doesn't, I just turn it around, he's more or less the irresponsible and she's the one that wants to go to school, that wants to have a normal life, that wants to live, to have friends, because they move from place to place. So she just wants to be at one place, have a restaurant or something, and just have friends and go to school. That's what she wants. And I think it's kind of funny because, normally it's the other way around. Parents tell their children, like, okay, you have to go to school, you have to be responsible, and later you will understand, well, here's the other way around. And I think that really gave a nice edge to the characters.
Yeah.
Sorry?
I said that's actually, she's the one that takes care of him, motherly in a way.
Yeah, yes. And she plays it beautifully. Honor is also awarded or nominated for this festival.
Yes, nominated for Best Child Actress. So
she's just fantastic. She's just amazing. Very often they say, okay, children and animals is very hard to work with, on set because it takes a lot of time and this and that. But she was just wonderful, unbelievably talented actress. I think she's going to be really big, really, really big.
Yeah, and also it searched a little bit in her career. She started really, really young, and now she's 16, so she has already had a solid career in acting, being that young.
Yeah, yeah. And she's super professional. She comes on set, she's prepared. Every take is good. So it's just like, okay, this was great. Let's try something else because I planned 4 takes or 5 takes. So let's play around and it's just great, really, really great.
And how long did it take you to complete the film? How long actually from the moment you conceived the story to the actual filming and then post-production? How long did the whole process take you?
I think I started writing the script about 5 years ago or so, and then I met the Ukrainian producer Alla Belaya like 3 years ago, and then she took on the project. She got a Polish producer on board, Chris Solek, and the three of us from that moment on, we really, you know, focused on getting the finance, getting the cast, getting the production working. So from that moment on, it took us 3 years to complete the film. Which is pretty quick, actually.
Yeah, actually,
you hear a lot of stories that's like 10 years or whatever, you know?
Yeah, actually, the length, they say it's a minimum of 3 years. So, yeah, you made it quite quick in a way.
Yeah, actually, yes. Yeah.
Fantastic. So are you planning to distribution? Is already being distributed, or it's about to come out?
No. It's well, basically the film is sold to all territories in the world. It came out in the US by Lionsgate on the 28th of July. So it's been out for like 2 weeks. Not in cinemas because originally we were hoping and we were planning to have a cinema release in the US, even though it would be a small one. But you know, this is what the distributor was planning. But yeah, because of COVID, that isn't possible. And they said, okay, we can wait with the release till they open again, but then all big films will also, you know, go into cinema, so there will be so much competition. So they said, okay, it's better to go in summer on VOD and online platforms. So that's what happened 2 weeks ago, and it's been in cinemas in Ukraine, in Malaysia, and I believe it's going to go in Thailand or India. I don't know really. So, but it's sold all over the world. So it has releases. You know, every 2 weeks it has a release somewhere every week.
Fantastic. I mean, that's what you want. At least even if it's just VOD for now. I mean, we don't have to underestimate VOD now. It's, I think, a new way we actually, you know, people have a connection with movies, and even though obviously the premiere in the movie theater is what also directors want and the producers and the distribution in itself want, VOD is the new, you know, source of income anyway. So I would really happy that it already started there for you.
Yeah, I talked also with different distributors, and they say that for them, a cinema release is very often, you know, it doesn't really bring any money. It's just, it brings prestige and it brings promotion. So they invest in it to get their, let's say, revenues from the VOD. But yeah, no, I just, for me, it was just, I would just love to see my film in a theater in, I don't know, New York or something. It would be just cool. But next film.
It's like when you finish a painting, you want it to be somewhere running around in museums and art exhibitions. So it makes sense. You have to go there. Yeah, and of course, on a big screen, it always looks, you know, just it looks better and a good sound. You know, it's just like you really get into it. It's a full experience. Yeah, we're all nostalgic about, you know, going to movie theater, and we all, you know, we can enjoy that soon again. And actually, that's why this year we are confined to the live stream edition. But you know, in the past we premiered at the Electric Cinema, so we had people coming, and it was all a different scenario for the festival. But that's how we are confined at the moment. So we take the good side of it, that we are knowing our filmmakers, the selected filmmakers better. We are giving more time to actually, you know, dig into your career, into your biography. That's a good side of it, and we hope you will enjoy this version of the streaming as well. So, well, thank you for being with us, Adrian. I want to remind the audience that you can watch Legacy of Lies in live stream from the 28th to the 30th of August on our festival platform. And you can also vote for, if it's your favorite film of the entire edition, you can vote for it. It's gonna go for the Audience Award. It will compete with all the shorts and all the feature of this edition. So if you like, please vote. And I really, really thank you, Adrian, again, for being with us and making this movie. We need people like you, and we need more people producing shorts and features. So please do and continue to do your job as much greater as you did it for now.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much for selecting, and I'm looking forward to seeing it. Great.
Yeah, thank you. Bye.
Thank you.